What's up, folks? So it's Sunday afternoon. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a little bit of a live show. I haven't done one in a long time. It's smoky outside, a little overcast, hot as can be. But it's been worse. July's been a really bad month for us. We've only had 2 or 3 days that have been under 100 degrees. So here's for hoping fall comes swiftly and quickly, because I'm so over the heat. One thing you guys should know about me, not that you should know or that you even care, but I have a really hard time in the heat. When it gets over 100 degrees, I get nauseous. Like I feel kind of like lethargic, like I might puke. Not that you guys care, but it's just really weird since I've grown up my entire life as of 5 years ago in Florida, for the exception of the last 5 years, and I spent 2 years in probably the hottest place on earth, most humid, on the equator in the Amazon jungle in Brazil. So I should be really used to it. But truth be told, I really prefer colder weather. I do. I like colder weather, but I like the beach more than anything else. So you take the good with the bad, and I choose to be in a warmer climate where I can be near the ocean as opposed to being up in the mountains, because I'm not really all that much of a mountain fan myself. But I have neither of those where I live right now in Northern California. I am close to Lake Tahoe, so we do get to kind of see some of the, some of the seasons. We don't have snow here, but we're like an hour away from snow, and we're a couple hours away from the beach. But the beaches here in Northern California are really cold. They're not like they are back in Florida. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. That was a tangent. So I wanted to pull out a couple things that I just haven't shown you guys, and I guess to start it off right, I will. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. So here's one item that I wanted to show you guys. You could probably guess what it is based off some of the furnishings within the cage, but this is an animal that's still kind of in quarantine, sort of. It was a little bit of a problematic baby for the breeder, and I took it on to kind of work with it and to see if I can get it on track. And it's been doing really well for me. So let me show you guys. Look at that, a little patternless male Amazon tree boa. Come here. So these little guys, this litter is awesome. I have 2 babies from this litter already, but I wanted to take this little one out to show you guys, because, see if I can get the focus right on this. It's not the best, but totally patternless orange. It is a male, and it's taking food for me really well. I really love this litter. It's probably, for a non-morph litter, probably one of the nicest litters I've seen. And all the animals were exceptional, and gotta love baby Amazons. And so anyway, I'm raising this guy up, and he's going to stay with me indefinitely. I will not be selling him. He had some regurgitation issues when he was younger. I did not believe it to be parasitic, because I had seen the entire litter a few times in person, and they all did really well. None of them had any issues. So to me, it was more of a stress related problem. And with the right temperature, some temperature tweaks, a little bit of TLC, and adjusting the humidity, which you guys could tell I did with the sphagnum moss, he's doing really well. So I'm going to keep an eye on him, see if I can get him up to size. He's a little bit smaller than the other animals, but That's it. He's about to bite my pinky right now. Anyway, thought you guys might like to see him. I don't have a name for him. Maybe I'll just name him Orange Peel. But we're gonna put him back in here. See if we can pull out the other, and he just got me, the other little guy, or the other animals that I have not shown you guys. I don't want to stress them out too much. Come here. So, anyway, gotta love Amazon tree boas. As you guys know, they are my favorites. But let's look at a couple of these other ones. So now these came from my good buddy Nick Bottini of Cold-Blooded Earth, and I've had these guys for a little while. They're doing really well for me. Let's see, which one will I pull out first? So this is just a normal female, but a high contrast animal at that. Just really, really nice. Blood python. These are red bloods. And they are all captive born and bred. Obviously, if they came from Nick, you guys know they are captive born and bred. And this is a species I've wanted to work with for a long time. They've always kind of eluded me. They've been really intriguing. I got some babies back in 2003, and they were farm hatched. They came from a middleman, a broker that's no longer in business, and they died on me very quickly afterwards. I would imagine he got them probably from Cam at Bushmaster and just you know, sold them without being established and whatnot. But anyway, this is a little normal female. I think she's going to be awesome. I'll show you the male that I specifically bought to plug into her. And he, as you guys know exactly right off of me holding him up, he is a Batik. So they are really moving around. These guys are supposed to sit still. But you know, the Batik, it is a pattern mutation. It does have some cool color that kind of comes in there, but you guys know these guys, they almost look granite-y. Not to be confused with a granite short tail, but this is also a red blood python. It is a male, and I'm hoping that if I can infuse this morph in with the pattern or the color from the female I just showed you, it will just make it that much nicer, and the babies should be really, really nice examples. So now these aren't super expensive. You know, at this time they're a few $100s, so when you're looking at a morph, it's relatively reasonable, I think, for people to acquire. By the time these guys are breedable, they will probably have come down a little bit more than that. But even still, you guys know I'm all about quality, and I think you know, starting off with, even, it doesn't matter if it's an investment animal or even just a normal non-morph regular wild type animal, regardless of the species, if you can do so with a nice foundation, meaning buying the best of the best with whatever that is, then I think your animals will always sell. So you know, anyway, the male Batik. So this is the second one, and now let's get to these. Nope. So this is a male matrix. You can tell, look at the sides here, the blushing, everything, but hoping I don't get bit. He can be a little tempestuous, but you know, I haven't really handled these guys at all since I got them, and it's been a while. And they're growing, they're eating, they're doing really well for me. And you know, he just had his actual first bowel movement. As you guys know, can be kind of a lot with bloods, but he is also a red blood python. And I'm really excited to have him, and you know, definitely has some growing to do. So these animals here are 2017s, and the animals I just showed you are 2018s. So these guys have you can see what a difference just a year makes on these animals. You can see how much they grow. Now these guys are on rats. The other ones are on rats too, but like, you know, I probably wouldn't feed these guys mice because they're, you know, they're already pounding rats. But the other ones, you know, they're small enough that if I'm out of rats or something like that, I could feed them some mice and they'll be fine. But really important with these guys to be careful with feeding. They can get fairly large, and because they're such a sedentary animal, I mean, they'll sit days on a game trail waiting for you know, prey to come by that, you know, they're not moving a lot, so their caloric intake doesn't need to be as much as what you would you know, give like a colubrid or something that's very active. You know, these guys sit under leaf litter, usually where it's moist in the jungle, and they just wait. And sometimes it might be a few days before a game, you know, comes by, before a rodent comes by or something that they can overtake. And they're very, you know, ambush predators, so they attack from beneath because they're sitting on the ground. But you got to be careful with feeding because they can get obese because they do sit still pretty much for long periods of time. But look how beautiful those colors are. It's absolutely amazing to me. And that's one of the reasons I've always wanted to work with them, is because of how pretty they are. There are very few species out there that you can get these types of colors and variability in just non-morph animals. Now these are matrix, but as you saw with the normal that I started off with, they are just very, very pretty in their own right. So let me take out the female. She's outstanding as well. Hopefully she cooperates like the other ones have. She has made me think that maybe she won't, but we'll see. So here's the female, also a matrix. So you breed these two together, and I believe you will come up with ivories, which are beautiful. I don't have any ivories, but so I have 2.2 of the red bloods, and her pattern, especially on the sides, is one of the things I like so much about them. It's just outstanding. Look at the color, the contrast, you know. So as you guys know, I love my corrales, I love my tree boas, but I do like pythons, and I'm into stuff that is a little more niche than some of the other species out there. Nick was really, really great to me. It started out with me buying this female, and the end result was the 4 that you just saw. So he was super flexible with me. If anybody is on the fence about getting some blood pythons, I would highly recommend it. So far they've been a real treat to work with, and obviously there are some very reputable blood breeders out there, both in the US and abroad, but with my case, Nick is top-notch, and I wouldn't hesitate to buy from him again. As you can tell, the animals speak for themselves and their total quality. So anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to do today. I haven't done a live episode in a while. I just wanted to pull out some animals and show you guys some stuff I've had here. Just hasn't really, you know, I've been so busy with work and whatnot, I haven't had a chance to get things onto the get videos made of stuff. And you know, as these guys grow, I'm gonna do a more in-depth video here probably in a little bit. I'd like to get maybe 1 or 2 more, but at the time being right now, this is it. But I will definitely do a more in-depth video of blood pythons as I gain a little bit more experience with them. Again, I've never bred them. I've never really kept them very much, so I'm not really an expert on bloods, but I do have good sense of keeping snakes and paying attention to them and reading their needs as opposed to what I want to see. So I think they're doing really well, and you know, we'll see here in the future how, as they grow, how their colors turn out, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. But these guys are awesome, and I'm stoked to have them. Thanks to Nick for hooking me up and being flexible with me, and thank you guys for watching, because you're, you know, a huge reason that I do the show, and you know, it's here to stay. So just put out some stuff from Riley's last week. Not sure if you guys saw it. There's another video coming out on this Friday that's that is the next or second installment from that visit to his facility, and it will be covering a different species than the Centralian python. So anyways, you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm out. Peace.